Hello and welcome to another video of the JavaFx application, and this is the fifth video, and in this video I'm going to style the console that we've created. So we're going to just style that stage. It's going to have its own style sheet, a CSS style sheet. First of all, I want to apologize for not being here for 2 weeks, because the first week I had some hardware problems. The power supply to my computer just sort of like burnt out, so I had to get a new power supply. And then the next week, the second week, I was surfing at Whiteson's Bay in Wales, so a little holiday. You can't blame me for not being there. So we're gonna go right ahead, and in our source we're going to create a new package, because we want to have a new package called resources, like so. And that is where I'm going to put my CSS folder. So in here we're going to create a new file, and that one we're going to call console.css, and we click finish, and there is our, it's like a text document, but it is called .css, so that's what we wanted. So now that we've created those, we're going to access them. Remember that in the console, the console that we created, we copied and pasted the calendar stage, and then we renamed just so it's got its own naming conventions, so it just suits the console. And then we've also added the X and Y coordinates so that the console appears in the left hand corner, and we've added some text that we can add to our console that shows how our program is running. And if you want to see it, it works like this. Very plain and simple. Console started, launcher started, click on the bottom, clicked on the button, and the calendar program starts. So that's all we've done, and now we're going to just style our console. So in our console now, what we do need, if we go back to the calendar, we do need this code, this line of code, which we took out. You can also type it in if you want. I just prefer copy. And then under where we've created our scene, just there we're going to paste that code. And then of course we got to rename as we did before with the naming conventions. This needs to be console, so it takes in the console scene. Now it's still not going to work. We will get some errors if we run that, because this file is not found. So we get a null pointer exception, and that's because the direction which we point at this file is actually inside another package. So that's not the file we want, because we want the console. So now we need to change this to the console.css, and it's still not going to find it, because it is in a package called resources. So we need to call the resources package, sorry, make sure I spell it absolutely, resources, absolutely correct, and then we need to put it inside the directory, so it will find actually the resources. So now it should not come up with an error. There we go, it's worked very properly, just as we liked it. So if we do change, just if we do have something missing and we do load the program, we are going to get this null pointer exception, because the direction in which we point, the directory to which we point, does not exist. It can't find it. So also if we make a spelling mistake in our file, it will also give us this null pointer exception. So we have to make sure that all this is spelled correctly, and that we've got the directories put in between so that it can actually find the file. Good. Now we can go and do our CSS, and for that we're first going to do the text area. So we can say .text-area, and we're going to say the content, because we want to do the background, and then we will put it within the brackets, and I'm just going to tab this out because I like doing that. And then we're going to say fx background hyphen color, and we're going to say is blue, and we're going to put our semicolon because that is necessary. Then we're going to save this, and let's close up. So there we go. So now our background is going to be blue, like so, and we can't see the text very well because we've made our background darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the text. Let's bring that back out here, and for that we need to just call the text area and not the content. So, and we are going to say let's tab that out. I'm going to say FX, and it's going to be font family. Oh, sorry. That's for changing the font family. We'll do that in a minute. So this is fill, and it's very simple, and we're going to just make that white. So if we just save that, let's make this a bit smaller so we can just access it like later. Now we close that. Now if we run it, you will see something is not correct. Unexpected token, so we have got a code issue there. So if we just open our console, and that's because I did that instead of that, and we need to save it. So there you go. That token was unexpected, so we've put the right token in there. It's very nice that it tells you that, and it still says something unexpected. So did I not save it? I thought I saved it, so let's go and see. You see, fill what? Text. Fill. So we still had that issue. So let's just save that, and then we do that. There we go. Excuse me. Now it's nice and white. But it does look a little bit printed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the family as I mentioned earlier, and that's done in the text area as well, and not in the contents area. So we're just going to say FX, and it's going to be font, and it's going to be family, and we're going to use the consoles. So let's just save that, close that, and then play or run it. So it looks a little bit nicer now. It looks more like computer console text family kind of font. So if we press start, so that's all working well. So we've got a nice blue color. It's very different from the rest of our application, and we can see the console very nicely and what happens. So good. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was useful, and happy coding.